Peace, family. Peace meaning positive energy always creates elevation. And that's a fact. You know, if you don't understand that by now, you most definitely on the wrong page, man. Cause I say it every time I open up any live or any video that I'm about to get ready to do. And I say it because positive energy is necessary in order to vibrate at a certain frequency, okay? You can't sit there and say that you vibrate at a high frequency and you don't have the positive energy that is necessary in order to vibrate at that frequency. It's buffoonery, okay? It's silly for you to even make a statement like that if you're not vibrating at a positive frequency, okay? And so with that being said, first and foremost, man, you know, I want to give a big shout out to everybody that has been holding me down, that has been rocking with me from the very beginning, man. I want to say kudos to you, man, because, you know, with the work that I do, man, and not just me, with everybody that's involved in this community, with the work that we do, man, I don't think you guys understand how hard it is for us to be able to get the message out to you, how hard it is to upload these videos, how hard it is to go live, you know, because it's a lot of people in the shadows, man, that's trying to stop us from relaying this information, from making you aware of the things that they have hidden from you for so long. I noticed that. I see a lot of other people that I would consider to be in my genre of creativity, because I don't really consider what I'm doing being creative. You know, what I do is, man, I just tell the truth. I give you what it is directly from my soul. But I would say genre because we know that we're on their platform and they separate everything through genres, right? Okay? But yeah, I say that to say, man, it's hard. It's really hard for people who do what I do to just do something as simple as get a message out, man. They want to make sure that, you know, the information that we give out does not reach the ears of the people who need to hear the message, man. We are a threat to their system. So I want to say, yeah, big ups to y'all, man. Big ups to y'all for that, man. And I can't speak for everybody else, but I will speak for myself and say that I really, really appreciate you guys, man, because it makes it easier for me to do what it is that I was sent here to do for you guys, man. And that's tell you guys the truth, to help you raise your vibrational frequency and to also make you aware of everything that's going on around you, okay? And because I've said this on many occasions, man, this realm that we live in is nothing more than an illusion, bro. Held together through lies. Okay? The lies that they tell is what has kept us in captivity for so long. And when I say that, I'm not just speaking for one particular group of people. I'm speaking for every group of people, okay? Because by now, at this level of spirituality, you should understand that even the division process, is all about keeping us caught up in the matrix. It's all about keeping the lie going and things like that, all right? And so with that being said, man, let's go ahead and jump into the subject at hand, man. And the subject at hand is shadow work. I want you guys to stop and ask yourself, are you doing the shadow work? Okay? Because when we talk about spirituality and things like that, shadow work is important. It's a very, very, very important thing that you must do in order to maintain a certain vibrational frequency. Okay? We have to do the shadow work, lest that vibrational frequency that we want in our lives is going to continuously fall to a negative one. And that's facts. You have to understand that. If you do not do the necessary shadow work, I don't care how high you eventually get your frequency to raise, it's going to eventually fall back down because you're not doing the self-reflection that is necessary in order to maintain that high vibrational frequency. And so what made me really want to touch on this subject is because I see so many people who are quick to point the finger at everyone else but themselves in terms of everything that is going on in their lives that they would consider to be negative, everything that they would consider to be hurtful. Okay? They're quick to point that finger at everyone else and blame them for their unhappiness. Okay? And things like that. And so, first and foremost, if you are the type of person that likes to dwell on being unhappy, you need to change that right away. Because you're doing more damage to yourself than you would do in trying to help yourself, okay? It's a negative vibration to sit around and dwell on the unhappy things that are going on in your life, okay? Don't sit around and dwell on being unhappy. Someone is making you unhappy and things like that. You have to be in control of your own reality, okay? So once you start to realize that you're unhappy, you need to be able to do something that's going to immediately raise that frequency back up. I've said that on several occasions. Don't dwell in that. That's exactly what they want from you, okay? You know, even, you never know. Whoever it is may be an agent that wants you to be at that lower vibrational frequency so that you won't be able to manifest the things that you want out of life. All right? And so with that being said, for a lot of you who may be new to this channel and don't know what shadow work is, let me further explain. Okay? Shadow work is all about doing the necessary questioning of oneself, meaning yourself. Asking yourself the uncomfortable questions that is necessary in order to, you know, keep yourself at a high vibrational frequency. Okay? We need to take time to self-reflect and to be able to ask ourselves, why haven't I let go of that trauma that I've been dealing with from my childhood, from years and years ago? Why haven't I forgiven the person who may have subjected me to that trauma? Okay? Why am I so angry every day that I wake up? Why am I unhappy all the time? Okay? Why am I not giving myself the self-love that is necessary to become happy? Okay, this is what shadow work is about. Asking yourself the questions that is necessary to be able to forgive either yourself or the people that you may feel that has subjected you to the things in your life that took you to that state. Okay? Because you have to understand, even though they may have played a part in taking you to that state of mind or that state of consciousness, you played the ultimate role of keeping yourself at that state of consciousness because you are in control of yourself. You control you. So this is why you have to do the shadow work, okay? With the understanding that, you know, you forgive someone not for them, but for you. This is why you're forgiving them of that situation that they took you through, of that physical, I'm tongue-tied, y'all, I apologize, of that physical abuse that they took you through, whether it be in your adulthood or in your childhood, of that sexual assault that they subjected you to, that you can't free your mind of. Even 15 years later, you're forgiving them for you, not them, so that you can grow, so that you can manifest. Okay? Because you have to understand that you cannot grow if you haven't forgiven. That's going to play a big role. And when you truly forget, you hold no grudge, you hold no feeling for it anymore. when you truly forgive someone. I didn't mean to say forget, because one thing I would never want you to do is forget it, because if you forget it, you allow it to be done to yourself again. And so, that brings me to the next part of what shadow work is for me. Shadow work, I do shadow work because I want to be consciously aware of those tactics that may be used against me again in the near future. I want to be able to recognize those things when they present themselves to me, whether it be in myself or through someone else. Okay? I want to be able to say, nah, I've been through that before. It's not going to happen to me again. I'm not going to allow it. I've done the shadow work and I've dealt with that issue. Even though I understand it, I need to do shadow work every day. But when it comes to this particular issue, I've seen it play out in my life before. I'm not going to allow it to happen again. Okay? I've seen what happened to me when I allowed myself to invest too much of my happiness into someone else's. I seen what happened to me when I started to neglect myself in terms of making me happy. Okay? I seen what happened. And I'm not going to allow that to happen to me again. That's what shadow work is all about. Being able to recognize those things and to be able to put a stop to it as soon as you recognize it. Okay? And so you have to understand, if you don't ask yourself these necessary questions, if you don't address those traumas, if you're unable to forgive, then no matter how much you keep a crystal on your neck to protect your frequency, no matter how much you meditate on a day-to-day basis, okay, you're never going to be able to maintain that frequency of happiness. You're never going to be able to manifest the things that is necessary, that you want in your life, because you haven't addressed the things that you need to address to keep you at that frequency. So therefore, whenever you think about those things, you're going to go back into that state of feeling that you first felt when those things happened to you, okay? And we understand that when we talk about anger, sadness, depression, things like those, that's a low vibrational frequency. Why is it? How do we know that? Because name one person that you've ever seen manifest something from that state of mind. Nobody. And you want to know why? It's because they're unable to get up and work through that. They're going to dismiss everything that it takes to do to get up, because to get up and manifest, and this is because they're not going to have the energy. We know that we live in the energetic realm. A lot of us know the laws of attraction. The laws of the universe. We know that we have to put the law of action behind everything in order to manifest. And so if you're angry and you're depressed, so on and so forth, you're not going to want to manifest, because that anger, that depression is going to put you in a lazy state to the point where you're going to want to push it out to the next day, and you ain't going to want to manifest. You're going to be, it's going to be impossible for you to do that, because your energy level is going to be too low. Okay? So yes, shadow work is important. It's necessary. Okay? Make sure you're doing that, man. Make sure you're doing the shadow work every day. Make sure you self-reflecting and not just pointing the finger at everyone that you think that harmed you in the past. Everyone that you think that is the reason for you being unhappy. Everyone that you think that is the reason for you being angry at this present time. Everyone that you think is the reason for you not being at a certain space in your life or a certain place in your life that you think that you should be at this present moment. First, point the finger at yourself and ask yourself, what part do I play in this? How much of my emotions have I invested into a situation that I shouldn't have allowed myself to be invested in, a situation that has stopped me from vibrating at that frequency that I know I need to vibrate at in order to manifest the things that I want in my life, because we create our own reality. You gotta do the work. And then as you shadow work, after you've done that shadow work, then you go on and you meditate. Then you wear the crystals to protect your frequency, okay? Because as you work on your frequency and things like that, you're not gonna want nobody to come along and, bring that negative energy, because a lot of people that you may surround yourself around may not be actually working on themselves to raise their frequency, okay? So you wear the crystals, so certain crystals, you know, you wear these crystals to protect your energy from those frequencies that have not yet started to do the work, so that they won't affect your frequency in that negative way. You feel me? So please do the shadow work, man. Don't sit around and just blame everybody for everything that's happening in your life. You understand what I'm saying? Don't do that. First, do the shadow work. First, ask, what role did I play in it? Once you can figure out what roles you played in it, then ask yourself, well, how do I deal with it? Okay? Meaning, what people do I need to let go? What things do I need to stop doing? What places do I need to stop visiting? You understand what I'm saying? Because we have to understand that a lot of the places that we visit, they affect our energy. A lot of the things that we read off of the internet, it affects our thought process, okay? It can easily take us into a negative state of vibration. Just reading or watching the wrong content, listening to the wrong music and things like that, okay? So it's necessary that you make sure that, you know, you ask yourself the tough questions. I may have not touched on some of the questions that you know you need to ask, but if you're watching this video and you know that it's a question that you've been avoiding, some things that you have not yet dealt with, then you know what I'm talking about. You know exactly what I'm talking about. You feel me? And so, hopefully this video has resonated with some of you souls, you guys' soul. And it, you know, it motivates you to want to get up and do that shadow work that's necessary in order to, you know, keep those frequencies raised. All right? For some of you, this message is probably not meant for you. You know, everything ain't for everybody. But for those of you who know for sure that this message was for you today, then, you know, get up and start doing the shadow work, man. Do the shadow work. Ask yourself the uncomfortable questions. All right? And so with that being said, man, I leave you guys as I came. I want you guys to always be aware. Because to be aware is to be alive. And as always, peace, family. Peace meaning positive energy always creates elevation. Ashe.